This episode is brought to you by DistroKid.
It's that time of year again. Everyone knows that the holidays can become overwhelming quickly, so the sooner that you get things done, the better. For both shoppers and businesses, the best time to score great deals during the holidays is Black Friday and Cyber Monday weekend. And that's why you need Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household names like Allbirds and Cowboy e-bikes to entrepreneurs who will be participating in their very first Black Friday or Cyber Monday this year. Shopify has everything you need to succeed from start to finish. First, Shopify's marketing tools help push your brand to the forefront of the chaos, no matter what platform your customers are on. Then, Shopify helps draw customers in with the ease of a convenient checkout with Shop Pay, Shopify's expedited checkout that saves customers information and reduces hassle. The best part? Shop Pay has been proven to boost conversions, meaning you see less abandoned carts and more profits. You can also stress less knowing that Shopify's award-winning customer support team is on standby 24/7 to help with any issues that arise, allowing you to get back to business as fast as possible. This Black Friday, join thousands of new entrepreneurs hearing for the first time with Shopify. Sign up for your free trial today at shopify.com/income. That's shopify.com/income. Go to shopify.com/income and make this Black Friday one to remember.
Hey everyone, today's guests are lead vocalist Anastasia Haunt and guitarist, vocalist Maxamillion Haunt from the Fort Lauderdale rock band, The Haunt. Together we dissect the writing, recording, and inspiration behind the fan-favorite single, Masochistic Lovers, taken from their 2025 full-length album, New Addiction. Anna and Max are brother and sister, and it was super cool to hear the story of how these two siblings started playing music together when Anna was barely into double digits age-wise. I mentioned that I hear a rock band first, and their synth electronica elements second, which is not always the case. I feel that even without those latter elements, Masochistic Lovers would stand on its own merit. The song features a vocal collaboration with Craig Mabbitt from Escape the Fate, who sings all of verse 2 and the choruses that follow. Producer Kevin Thrasher put together some killer sounds here, and there isn't an ounce of fat on this tune. It's 2 minutes and 5 seconds of hook after hook. And Anna and Max both feel like people's attention spans these days can better digest a shorter song. And heck, when they're out opening for a bigger band with only a 30-minute set, they can play more songs. I like their thinking. So for all this and a ton more, stick around.
Hey, have you heard? Krista makes a podcast. Hey, have you heard? Krista makes a podcast. Hey, have you heard? Krista makes a podcast. Hey, have you heard? Krista makes a podcast.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida, huh?
Yeah, that's where we played most of the venues growing up and kind of started our bones as a band. We used to rehearse in a garage warehouse space in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and just kind of, that's kind of our stomping grounds.
Was it air conditioned?
I don't remember. I think it wasn't, right?
It was not.
It was not, yeah.
Okay. So you're fully keeping it real. Our first warehouse in Less Than Jake was not air conditioned.
Yeah.
We had a guy come down one time from Capitol Records. He was courting us. He wanted to sign the band. And it was next to a cow slaughterhouse as well, which was completely disgusting. And that's a whole conversation for another podcast. But he couldn't believe in the middle of July that we were out there at night. It's still 95 degrees. You can cut the humidity with a knife. Mosquitoes everywhere. He's like, you guys aren't yanking my leg. This is really where you rehearse. Like, yeah, we're from Florida. We can handle it. We were kind of talking before we started rolling about some of the venues down there. So I'm assuming you played Culture Room and played Revolution Live.
Yeah, quite a few times, both. And we made our way down to Miami quite a bit too. We've played Gramps and Churchill's, which just reopened, and some some of the classic venues down there that were a huge part of the scene. And now So a bunch of them closed during COVID, and then now they're like all opening back up again, which is really cool to see, because there was like, besides those major ones that you said, like Culture Room and Revolution, like there was very few. We always kind of do our headline shows based on like the size that we're at right now. We love playing over at Respectable Street in West Palm Beach.
There you go. And nobody believes me. I probably said this on a podcast before. I almost get angry about it. There used to be a Respectable Street in Miami in the 90s. We played that one too, but nobody seems to remember it except this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely done me no good, but now I just keep telling people about it, and maybe one day someone will corroborate my story. Tell me a little bit about how, and you guys are brother and sister, and I love the fact that your last name's Haunt. I always wish I had a rock star name that had, like Rob Zombie. I mean, that says something. DeMakes, right. I don't know. But how did you know, Max, or how did you know, Anastasia, that you wanted to collaborate and work with your brother? I mean, obviously you're growing up in the same house. I'm going out on a complete guess here, but I'm assuming Max's room was down the hallway and you'd hear music coming. And when did you know your sister could sing and or wanted to work with you together in any capacity? Because I imagine it could have certainly been like, go away, I don't want you to bother me. But obviously something clicked here.
Yeah, I actually started singing first, not that it's a competition or anything.
Oh, wait a second. I got it backwards. So you started singing first.
He always had an interest in music, and we were in piano lessons since very young, and I think he had started guitar lessons.
Yeah, right around the same time. Yeah.
But yeah, I started singing first, and then I would sing by myself and be too scared and shy, so he would be sitting with me, and it kind of looked stupid, so we slapped a guitar on him. And
yeah, first few shows we played piano, and then it was just like open mics, and she would sing a cappella, and then I kind of started playing with her. And it would be piano, and then as I got like a little bit comfortable enough on the guitar to start playing, but I'm telling you, like the first videos of us where we're playing at open mics where I'm playing the guitar, I'm like this, like staring at the guitar, sitting down playing.
Sure.
First ever playing in front of guitar.
We were really young, like that's when I was about 8, 9, and you were however old you would be.
I think I was like 13.
13,
yeah, something like that.
That's fantastic. Now, did your parents have any musical abilities?
Not abilities, but they're huge music fans. So they were the ones that kind of turned us on to all of like the great music from, we have young parents. So they were kind of like in the 90s era of like just amazing music going on at that time. And they kind of, taught us about the 70s and the 60s. And the 80s.
Everything, like every day on the way to school, our mom would be teaching us a new music lesson. It would be just like a new artist every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm assuming your parents are younger than me, but we're not going to go there. Anyways, so you guys, I was reading your discography, and it's impressive. I know a lot of, and I'm hesitant to use the word younger bands, but some newer bands that have come out. They're really singles driven. You guys have done a bunch of EPs. And your newest record, which features the song we're going to talk about today, is called New Addiction. The song's called Masochistic Lovers. And tell me a little bit about this song. Was this created specifically for maybe another single, or did you have in mind for a record?
So we went into the studio. Kevin Thrasher was the producer. We went into the studio to make our first like full-length record. That was the goal. We were with Network Records. We had done 2 EPs with them before. We had EPs from the past as well. And when we did our first stuff with them, it was like, let's just do 2 EPs. We'll release almost everything as singles, and then we'll do like separate it. But when we went to do New Addiction, we were like, we want it to be a full length record. And there was a time where we were like, oh, it actually almost turned back into 2 EPs at one point, and we got really disappointed, and we fought for it. And yeah, it's, for us, it was kind of like a rite of passage. It was like, this album was kind of the exact sound and like the vibe that we were chasing for so long. We really wanted it to be like our first something, and it was our first full length record. You know what I mean? And it kind of felt like a new beginning for the band after like a really hard kind of tumultuous time writing it. Once we were putting it out, it kind of turned the corner into like, the most attention that we had gotten in our lives. And it was really, really cool.
I love that. I love how the newer bands are, kind of, there's no rules on how to release your stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone's taking chances and doing different things. I mean, for the longest time, it was, you go make a record, you tour the record, when you're done with the cycle, you go make another record. And a lot of older bands, my band and other bands that have been around for a while, they subscribe to that. And it was kind of hard for us to go the opposite way and be like, yeah, it's okay to release singles and catch our fan base up with, you know, where music kind of is now. And that's why I asked if this was a standalone or if you were, you know, thinking of this in terms of a record.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of always been our game plan. And the game plan for the release never really changed. It's like we write songs individually. Like, I don't know, you know, I don't know how it used to be, but you know, you listen to some older records and you're like, you can tell that there were like a few songs on this record that got a lot of attention. And then there were a few songs on this record that are here to fill out the record. And like, we kind of have always approached things from like every song should be able to stand on its own two legs and get the same attention. And so it kind of made sense that if we were going to put all that effort into each individual song, that each individual song should get its chance to breathe. Because I mean, I listen to an album all the way through when it comes out, but a lot of people don't do that. And they're listening to, you know, you listen to the 2 or 3 singles and then you listen to the focus track and like, that's, you know, it. So for us, it's like, we really care about every song that we put out and we want it to get the full ride. So we do, you know, music videos, which we're editing in house and all that to kind of just give each song its own breath.
Well, I'm really impressed with everything, all your social media stuff. All the videos look great. And before we jump into this track, I want to ask you, you know, parents will sometimes have a heart attack when one of their children says, hey, I'm going to go be a rock star. What they think with both of you wanting to do this?
I think for Anna, it was like, because she started so young, I feel like it was like your natural path. Like it was never even really like a question. Right?
Yeah. I don't really remember
ever wanting to do anything else, right?
Yeah.
Or even consider anything else.
I was in college for marine biology, and I dropped out when we got our first tour with Palais Royale. I went back like during COVID when things kind of got scary. I went back to like online school, like ASU for a little bit, but didn't stick. And yeah, for me, it was like a kind of change in direction. I was always playing in the band with her, but it was like until it became like real, like we could really do this. That was like a change in direction.
Yeah.
For her, she was so young. I feel like it was always your direction.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, we've know about Palais Royale. They've played a bunch of Warped Tours. Les and Jake's been out with them, and I noticed that you guys have also toured with not the English band The Who, but you've toured with the Mongolian metal band The Who, the HU. What a band! I guess you guys supported 2 North American tours with them.
Yeah, we did 2 tours with them, and that was chaos. You know, it was so different for us. I mean, it was amazing. Let me start by saying that, but it was one of those things where you're kind of taken out of your element because, you know, we were even, you know, younger then, and we were like young kind of punk rock band. You know, we have other influences and stuff, but the live show is very like energetic punk rock, like fun. And, you know, they do a very different thing where it's a lot of, you know, slower, drivier music. And, you know, it's intense and it's incredible. We weren't sure how their audience was going to receive us. And that was kind of like, I think Palais Royale tour was kind of like we did 3 tours with them. And that was kind of like our boot camp to like what touring was like. But it was kind of easy for us because the fan base for Palais Royale at the time was 15-year-old girls. That's who was our singer. You know what I mean? And like, everybody like who saw us just got it, you know. But then when we go to the Who tour, it's a totally different audience. It's a little bit of an older audience. It's a more heavy rock fan audience. And so it was a different thing. And it was our first kind of moment where we were like, we're going to have to do something different, but we're still going to do our show, but we're going to play up to this audience and kind of the songs in the set. We added some of the heavier stuff, some older stuff from our catalog that had like this drivier kind of darker feel to it. And
it was one of the first tours. It was 2021. We toured with them and then again in 2022, but it was one of the first tours after COVID. So that was also a weird experience because everyone was masked in the audience and we couldn't go and meet anyone after.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough period to be out there touring. My band had went out in late 2021, and I know exactly what you mean. I had tried to go talk to those guys backstage at a European festival. It was in Switzerland, actually, in the summer of 2023. None of them spoke English. I thought they were pulling my leg. I mean, I don't even know if they knew how to say hello. And then their tour manager came up, and I think he was Indonesian or something. He spoke English, and he's like, "No, none of them speak English." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, we would hang out though. We would hang out together. We would drink together, but they know how to say Jameson, so that was enough.
Yeah.
Okay, that works for me. And one other thing, I swear we're gonna get into your song here. You know, you mentioned that you know the punk rock roots and that you're a rock band. when I listen to this track, I hear a rock band first. A lot of modern or newer music that is in this kind of style, I hear synths and a dance element first, and I hear rock. And I don't hear that this way. I hear a rock band first. There is those elements. It does sound modern, but I hear a rock band first and foremost.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of always been our thing. When we left for those tours with Palais Royale, like we were no synths, no anything. Like everything was 4-piece band rock, and that's kind of how we came up because the Miami scene, the Fort Lauderdale scene, was very punk and grunge. And it was like, we wanted to do what we wanted to do, but we also wanted to play shows. And so it kind of like sculpted us a little bit to kind of compete with the bands that we were kids, but they were like adults and they were really good at that time. And like, we wanted to be able to kind of play with those bands on the same lineup and stuff. And so that kind of like, that was one of the early influences on us that kind of sculpted our sound into the, punky, heavy world. And it's funny that you say that because going into talking about the record, like everyone that's worked with us kind of leading into this point, I produced the last record, so this is my fault as well. And, the record before that, co-produced with a local guy down here, Josh Diaz, and we've worked with Matt Good. And a lot of people kind of initially want to pull the band in a direction that is, I don't want to say pop forward, because it's still rock songs, but it's pop elements forward, and the rock band kind of plays along with it. Whereas like our live show has always been the opposite, and we've always gotten compliments about the live show and about how much people like the songs more live. And so we went in to record this last record and the record that we're working on now with that idea in mind that like we want the record to be more like what we do live. We want it to be 4-piece rock first with synths and industrial elements kind of taking the backseat, but they're still there.
Sure, and that pop sound can become very evident, and it can turn that way real quick with a female singer. A lot of times producers will hear your female voice, be like, "Oh, and you're like, no. We still want to have an edge here." But the song's 2 minutes and 5 seconds. I love the brevity and the immediacy of the track.
Yeah.
I notice a lot of bands are writing 2-minute songs. It's not 3 minutes. And John Feldman, I talked to him the other day, producer who plays in Goldfinger, and he said, I'm just trying to write the next 1:50, 2-minute song. There's no fat on the bone at all. And I looked at this, I was like, 2:05. Okay, let's see what we got here. And it's a quick listen. There is no fat here at all. The intro's 4 bars, which is basically the verse progression, drums, bass, big distorted stereo guitars, but they're playing like this 8th note chug, as well as I'm hearing like a synth or synths, like some bed synth back there in the beginning. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's all right. Sorry, real quick, I just thought it would be funny to mention that we're working on some of the songs on our next record with John Feldman right now.
I love it. Well, I noticed the record New Addiction. I believe there's 10 songs. There is 10 songs because Masochistic Lovers is the 4th track. There's only 2 songs that are over 3 minutes. They're all 2 minutes.
Yeah. So that's kind of been a thing of ours too. Like I don't know. It's personal preference, but I personally, and I think she feels the same way. I don't. When I'm at a show, unless you're like going to see like a specific jam band, like I would like to hear the songs. It's like I want the songs to happen. And we got used to that from being an opening band for a while, where you're like opening for other bands and you got 25, 30 minutes. And we want to play as many songs as we can to kind of show what we can do. But you want to leave the audience wanting more from each track. To me, if the song runs its course and you're like, you look up at the radio and you're like, holy shit, this song's still on. It's too long at that point. You know what I mean? For me. So I always kind of push us to make them as concise and short and like get all the elements in there that need to be there and then end the song.
Overworked, underslept, kiss me harder so I'll never catch my breath. Guess we're fucked, we're all in love. Seems like we're chasing the same thing to feel I feel anything at all.
Overworked, underslept, kiss me harder so I'll never catch my breath. Guess we're fucked. We're all in love. Seems like we're chasing same thing. Feel alive. Feel anything at all.
Right.
Did your parents ask you why you had to say the F word?
No,
they're worse than us.
Yeah, they're very
I forgot. They're younger than me. You're fine. Okay.
Yeah, then they're from New York, so we got it from them.
Oh, they probably encouraged it and wanted a few more exclamations in there. But what's happening here in verse 1?
verse 1 and the whole song is really just about like this overwhelming feeling of existing right now. I feel like it's just about how overwhelming it is to be alive right now.
Yeah.
In this world.
Be alive with everything as a young person, as just in general.
As a young person, because we are young, but I feel like anyone can really relate to it. I just feel like there's so much going on 24/7, and everything is very fast paced.
Yeah.
Quick move.
It's like everything is kind of, because of the short attention spans, kind of like what we were talking about before, everything feels like you have like 10 seconds to impress until the next thing moves on. And it's kind of an feeling, especially as an artist, but I'm sure it's that way for everybody. Is just like, because everyone's attention spans are so short, and because we've kind of moved, like, it's like this in everything from art to politics, where it's like, if someone does the wrong thing, that's it, clipped, like you're done. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like this overwhelming feeling of like kind of keeping up with everything, and there's got to be output, but there's also got to be this feeling of like you don't want to fuck up.
What are you trying to say with the line, guess we're fucked, we're all in love? That's interesting with what you're describing about the song, but then you're saying we're in love. Are we in love, or is it, it feels like it's tumultuous to me?
Everyone is always in love with each other. And they're not. They're not.
And they're not. Okay.
We're saying they are.
Right.
And then they're on to the next.
That's interesting. Well, verse 1, we don't get any harmonies in verse 1. We got some cool stuff that goes on here. That intro, those guitars and the drum groove and the bass, pretty much the same here in verse 1. However, we get a guitar hook. It almost sounds like a synth. It's a great hook. It's this 3-noter that happens on Overworked, and then it's out at the end of the line, Underslept. The vocal treatment's killer in this whole song. It's breathy. My listeners may have heard me say this before, but I've had a producer years ago tell me I needed to be more sexy with my voice, and I didn't really know what that meant as a young performer. Like, I'm a dude, sexy. What are you talking about? I'm not in a pop band, but that breathy delivery, it feels intimate with the listener.
What is the last lyric you have on yours, like of the first verse?
Seems like we're chasing. Same thing. Feel alive. Feel anything at all.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is that right?
Did I leave anything out?
No, that is right. It's just on Spotify and on a few things a few times, it was different.
It says to feel alive.
Yeah.
I noticed on the lyric video for this song, it says to feel alive, but you don't say tool. You just say feel alive.
Yeah, live I do. And so
People probably just hear it.
People just hear it. And I always try to say it, but it's such like, it's so
You're
many
like
words
rapping,
to fit.
yeah.
That's interesting you bring this up, because I had this part circled. A lot of times as a singer, I'll throw in words that are unnecessary, and the producer will be like, wait a second here. It's too jumbled. You just gave your sister a look. I saw that look, Max.
She wants all words.
Yeah, I like how that sounds. I like jumbly.
It is, seems like we're chasing, same thing, like chasing the same thing. The the's not in there, but in songwriting, again, there's no rules. It can be however you want it, and that was the only thing I noticed, that there was a 2 there that's not there, but makes sense. You don't know how many times I get lyrics on here, they're taken from the live, version from a fan. Right after Guess We're Fucked, we get that 3-note guitar hook again, but on the last note, it goes up an octave there. That's awesome. And it's just 3 notes, but that little difference there. Do you remember doing that? You remember talking about that, or is that just the way it always was?
I don't remember. I don't remember it specifically, if I'm being honest, but what I do know is that every time I'm writing a guitar part, and Kevin, when we're working back and forth, kind of, sometimes I feel like he gets it, and then sometimes I feel like he's getting frustrated with me. But for me, like, I am always either like every other bar, so every 2 bars should be different from each other, right? So it should be doing the progression one way, and then the next time it should be different, and then it can come back. Or like I'm always a 3-bar, and then the 4th one's different. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I kind of always do that. Like, I'm never gonna keep it. To me, I don't know. Like, when I produce my stuff too, like, it's always one of those things where I'm like, every second, it goes back to the attention span, to be honest. It's like every second, every time the progression happens, it should feel a little bit different than the last time that it happened. And something either should be added or taken away to make it feel like it's moving the whole time.
I'm driving to the gym this morning. I'm listening to the track, and I'm like, it's 5 notes, really, or 3 notes the first time, and then the same 2 notes of, the second time around, and the third time it goes up. That could have been anything. It could have been any 3-noter there. And I was tripping out on that one part. And I think it's so cool that it just goes up there to makes it different the second time. On At All, the band rings out over a cool drum fill and then a synth swell. It's like an it's almost like voices happen. And this part right here, this 2 bars where you go to At All, that lyric, it almost acts as a pre-chorus.
It is.
It's a great setup. I wouldn't call it a pre-chorus. I'd call it part of the verse, but it's great. And when we get to verse 2, it's even better on that setup.
That point that I was making about the lyric was, I am saying 2 things. What is that called?
A double entendre?
Maybe. I don't know if that
Oh, that's what we're going with.
But yeah, what it says on everything is to feel alive, feel anything at all. And you can hear that. But like live, I say till I feel anything at all, and sometimes it sounds like that,
right?
And then sometimes it sounds
like what's
on there. But both are accurate.
Have you ever done something live for so long? I know I have. Well, I have fans now that will call me out and like, you don't sing the last verse of the song. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'll go listen to it. And I can't believe how different it is. You get something in your head and hey, if it's working live, you're out playing these shows and the audience is reacting, and then
yeah.
And I don't know about you, but like I don't listen to our records that often. So it's like you play it a lot, but it's like I don't put it. I made it, so I listened to it a million times when we were making it and mixing it, putting it. Whereas like I don't put it on that much, like in my day-to-day life. And then Joey, like we were listening, it came on in in the tour bus. Our drummer Joey was like, "I've never heard this." He had,
yeah.
But it was like years ago. He was like, "I've never heard this version," but it's like it's been so long since we've listened to it because we've just been playing it for so long.
Yeah, that's the evolution of playing live. And, recently had John Feldman. We were talking about John. I'm so stoked you guys are going to record with him.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. But we broke down a Blink-182 song that John had produced it was on a previous episode. But anyways, that was the last song. Not the one I did with John, but I had Hoppus on here doing What's My Age Again. I think it was the first season of this show. And that was the first chorus. I remember clocking in at the 23-second mark, except for the Haunt, Masochistic Lovers. 23 seconds were already at the chorus.
Keep on making it worse. We knew this would hurt. Wonder what it's all worth. I've been stuck in reverse, a feet in the dirt. Masochistic lovers.
Keep on making it worse. We knew this would hurt. Wonder what it's all worth. I've been stuck in reverse. 10 feet in the dirt. Masochistic Lovers. I always get it confused. The Sado part is what? The masochistic? I can never remember what it is, but what does masochistic mean? I probably should have looked up the definition.
So masochism is, I always mix them up too. Hold on. Masochism is when you
like to be beat?
Yeah, it's
or like you are kind of in love with pain.
With pain, that's what it is.
There you go. Okay.
I know that there's one that's like directed outward and there's one that's directed inward, but I'm not really sure, and I'm not
in this one.
In the context, it doesn't really matter that much either. It's like masochistic lovers, you're talking about both of you. And the lovers part, to me, has kind of always been like more of a metaphor for the overall life of it. It's not really a love song. It's not about 2 people.
No.
All of the people in all the world, we're all kind of intertwining, and, it's kind of, you're watching, not to get like super dark on it, but it's like you see shit on your phone every day and in your life, and it's like everything is, again, it goes back to that same feeling of kind of being overwhelmed and overstimulated, and it's like it's all intertwining and
you get stuck because there is like some sort of attraction to like your own pain.
Yeah. And now, Anna, did you craft all these lyrics? Do you do them together?
Yeah. The chorus, I think
we co-wrote, right?
Yeah.
Or did you I don't remember which. I know you came into the studio with like a decent amount of it written.
I came in with the verses and most of the chorus, I think. But yeah, I think we wrote together.
Yeah.
And did you have the title before the music? When did the title Masochistic Lovers come along?
That was in the studio.
I think so too.
In the studio.
I'm pretty sure the chorus, that like dancey chorus part came together in the studio, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Feels like a part that we would write only really over the instrumentation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's great dynamics coming from that verse. That synth builds up, and then we hit the chorus, and it's big. Drums, bass, stereo guitars strumming these big, huge chords, tambourine, and I wrote maybe a synth bed running underneath. I can't really tell. The guitars are so big here that it was hard to tell if it sounds like there's something else going, but I couldn't really discern.
Yeah, so on this record, this entire album, all over it, we used Prophet. So it's all over it. I mean, there's certain songs where you hear it more. There's a song called Going Under where it's like all based on just Prophet sounds and shit like that. But this song, it's kind of more just, obviously this song is mostly just 4-piece rock. So the guitars are baritone.
Okay, well that makes sense. That's that low growl.
Yeah, so I guess it's technically not baritone. It's the Schecter 6 bass. And then laid regular bass guitar under that. And then there's a Moog synth bass under there as well. But live, an analog Moog.
Hey everybody, don't go anywhere. We got lots more coming up with Max and Anastasia after a few words from our sponsors.
Looking to elevate your music career? DistroKid is a digital music distribution service that enables musicians to distribute their music to online stores and streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Amazon, Tidal, and many more. DistroKid collects earnings and payments, sending them to you, the artist. With DistroKid, artists unlock a world of possibilities. From easily paying collaborators with splits, to securing your music with DistroLock, DistroKid covers all bases. Plus, you can promote your releases with Hyperfollow and create eye-catching visuals with a Spotify Canvas generator, all for free. But that's not all. Introducing the DistroKid app, now available on iOS and Android. Artists can manage their releases, view streaming stats, and withdraw earnings, all from the palm of their hand. And for those looking to perfect their sound, check out Mixia. With its simple interface and customizable mastering options, artists can make their music sound polished and professional within minutes. And don't forget about Instant Share, DistroKid's newest feature. Share large files securely with collaborators, producers, and more, ensuring your music streams at the highest quality. Ready to take your music to the next level? Download the DistroKid app and explore their suite of tools today. Plus, listeners can enjoy 30% off their first year by visiting distrokid.com/VIP/DeMakes. That's distrokid.com/VIP/DeMakes. You know how every family has one person who always wins Christmas? This year, that's going to be you, thanks to Aura Frames. An Aura Frame is the perfect gift. You can preload it with unlimited photos and videos straight from your phone. So by the time you're giving it to someone, it's already packed with memories. I got one for my mom, and I had already been stocking it with photos of my family, fun pictures from places I visited on tour, and even a few embarrassing childhood photos, because those are always good for a laugh. She opened it up, turned it on, and we sat there just watching the frame instead of the TV. We even added a selfie of us together that very moment. It's crazy, but true. You can add unlimited photos and videos to the frame using the Aura app. Every frame comes in a premium gift box, ready to go. And it connects to Wi-Fi, so you can keep adding new memories all year long. You can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. For a limited time, visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code DeMakes at checkout. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code DeMakes. This exclusive Black Friday Cyber Monday deal is the best of the year, so order now before it ends. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Rinse takes your laundry and hand delivers it to your door, expertly cleaned and folded, so you could take the time once spent folding and sorting and waiting to finally pursue a whole new version of you. Like Tea Time You. Or this Tea Time You. Or even this Tea Time You.
Said you hear about Dave?
Or even Tea Time You.
So update on Dave.
It's up to you. We'll take the laundry. Rinse. It's time to be great.
The Burlington Coat Event is back. Buy a coat now through November 29th and get $5 off your merchandise purchase of $25 or more from December 6th through December 24th. Plus, Burlington is donating 50,000 new coats to help those in need nationwide through our partnership with Delivering Good. We've been keeping you warm for over 50 years. We'll see you at our coat event. Burlington. Deals. Brands. Wow. Visit burlington.com/coats for details.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast? Smart move. Being financially savvy? Smart move. Another smart move? Having State Farm help you create a competitive price when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Extra value meals are back. That means 10 tender, juicy McNuggets and medium fries and a drink are just $8. Only at McDonald's.
For limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Hawaii, Alaska, and California, and for delivery.
Hey everyone, Chris DeMakes here. And I've got some exciting news. Chris DeMakes a Podcast is now on Patreon. Your support is what keeps this show going, allowing us to bring you deep dives into amazing songs from incredible artists every week. When you join our Patreon at chrisdemakes.com, you'll get instant access to hundreds of episodes of The After Party, our weekly bonus show where producer Chris Fafalius and I talk music history, trivia, tour stories, classic albums, and whatever else comes to mind. Plus, you'll get early ad-free episodes of Chris DeMakes a Podcast, unedited video versions of each episode, and, of course, a brand new episode of The After Party every single week. If our show brings you a little joy, help us keep it going strong for just a couple bucks a month at chrisdemakes.com. Not ready to commit? No problem. You can sign up for a free membership while you decide. Thanks so much, everyone, and I hope to see you all at the after party.
And now, back to the show.
Couple more things here in chorus one. The vocals are stacked. They are big. The harmonies are awesome, especially the haunting, no pun intended, low harmony that's panned off right. Who does that one?
I don't remember. I honestly
assume it's me.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he sings in this song.
I don't think I'm on the record at all on this one.
Oh, you're not? Okay, I had question marks for you later. Okay,
we'll get into the Craig portion of this in a second.
Yes,
but before it was Craig, this wasn't a song because there's a bunch on our record that go back and forth.
This was just me singing the whole thing, and then last minute we got him on it, which was amazing. But
yeah,
are all these harmonies in your head, Anna? Like when you get in there, are they already pretty much worked out, or does Kevin Thrasher, the producer, say, "Hey, maybe try something low here. Let's mess around"?
Yeah, he definitely tells me what vibes he feels. I don't really have them in my head. I like pre-studio, but when I'm in the studio, we let it run and I do all of them. They just come out kind of naturally.
Yeah,
that low harmony here is so cool.
That low harmony is actually I originally wrote it on this song on piano, and it was very jazzy and more in that. I have a voice memo of it, but you probably can't hear it through here.
Well, that's why it sticks out. It is that odd jazz note there.
It was very slow and low like that when I first wrote that verse. So that's where that is.
Very cool. Well, right after chorus one, we get a quick 2-bar musical turnaround. Drums, bass, and stereo guitars all playing these staccato stabs along with an atmospheric synth. And I think I'm hearing an octave guitar now come in, panned off right.
Yeah, we jumped back on a standard guitar, and we kind of did a bunch of the elements that are anything in that higher register were just done on some kind of single coil Fender. I really don't remember what he's got.
I love this part because it doesn't happen again. It's just that turnaround. I think that is so cool in songwriting. A lot of hardcore bands used to do that, and a lot of punk bands just have this one part that would never come again. I always had a problem with parts like that because I would be like, that part's so awesome. How could we not have it in here 2 or 3 times? But I like your restraint here.
Yeah, I think that's more Kevin than me, the restraint part, because again, I probably would have done the same thing. And I think an element that's very similar does come back in the bridge, which I think was just me pushing for that part again. So it's exactly what you're talking about of trying to find where honestly, I think what it ended up being is that this originally went straight from chorus to the next verse. And then we wrote the bridge. And this is kind of we added this in later on as a prelude to the bridge.
Yeah, well, I mean, the bridge is the biggest part of the song. We're going to get to it in a bit. It's really cool. But verse 2.
Coughing blood, broken lungs. Everybody's off their prescription drugs. Now your tongue, don't jump the gun. Anything left to tell you just to keep you young and dumb.
Coughing blood, broken lungs. Everybody's off their prescription drugs. Bite your tongue, bite your tongue. Don't jump the gun, don't jump the gun. And eat the lies they sell you just to keep you young and dumb. Keep you young and dumb. Oh, something unintelligible, and then you say, I know. What do you say after oh?
I'm surprised it doesn't say hi either. Did we?
No, I think the ones on Spotify say hi on.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Hi on your prescription drugs. That's what we say on the actual songs. Hi on our prescription drugs.
Everybody's high on your
their prescription drugs. Yeah.
Oh, it says in the lyrics, everybody's off. I don't know how I didn't pick up on that. Everybody's high off their prescription drugs. That makes a little more sense. Okay. And then the last little piece here, oh, like I said, it's something unintelligible after that. And then you say, I know.
I think it's I know.
Yeah, so it's I know twice.
Okay. And this, of course, verse 2 is where Craig Mabbitt from Escape the Fate comes in on this. And I thought there's a couple things in here, Max, I thought maybe were you, and we'll get to those in a second. But that guitar hook from the top, it's after Coughing Blood and it's after Bite Your Tongue here. I swear the guitar hook is louder in verse 2.
It probably is. That's probably, if that is the case, it's a mixing thing, and that's Joel Wanasek did the mix for our entire album.
You know, I geek out on little things like that. You know, it's subtle. It's so subtle. It's not like a huge volume raise, but it's up a dB and a half. I think it's awesome. Drums, bass, and stereo guitars are playing those eighth note chugs again here. On those call and responses, the first one is Bite Your Tongue, the call and response vocal. I thought maybe that was you, Max. It's like a screamy, distorted, blown out call and response vocal. Is that Craig there?
That's Craig, yeah. So all the vocals on this one are either Anna or Craig from what I remember.
Okay, but that is Craig doing that. And he's also doing the one on Don't Jump the Gun.
Yes. Yeah.
Something else cool in verse 2. This is 12 bars total. Verse 1 is only 10. So this little tag down here, oh, I know, that part is 4 bars instead of 2 to set up the chorus. The band doesn't ring out. The guitars keep strumming here before chorus 2. Let's talk about that turnaround. Did you ever say to yourself, I want this verse to be a little longer? Did you even know it was longer?
So for us, and I know it's not really a pre, but like the I know part in the first verse and the I know part in the second verse, those are like the pre to us. And we kind of skipped the pre because we were like, we want to get to the chorus as fast as possible. It's like a ton of energy. The verses are very slow and drivey. And once that drum fill happens and the chorus kicks in, it's like, that's where the fucking song is. And so for like a chorus based song like this, it's one of those things where we were like, okay, we want to make sure that like we get there faster on the first verse. If someone's listening to the second verse of your song, they're going to listen to the whole song, right?
Yeah.
So we wanted to draw out that second one, make it a little bit more unexpected, and it's fun we always are like of the mindset of like shorter pre-chorus if you even do one on the first verse, and then like a longer one on the second verse. If we change them, that's generally like the way we try to do it. It's because once someone's listened that far into the song, you probably got them for the whole song. And so you can play around with like some fun, creative, like anxiety building stuff, which I think kind of reflects what the song is talking about through the whole song, but especially in that part, which is like anxiety of like, I know, like shut up already. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, something else that stuck out to me here in verse 2, and it goes back to that rock band, you know, where I think you guys are a rock band first and the dance elements and the production elements are second, is the keep you young and dumb. That line, there's a monstrous growl ominously tucked under the lead vocal that says keep you young and dumb. It happens at the same time. And, you know, where it's placed in this mix, I feel like if it was Escape the Fate, a number of bands, that it would be louder and kind of take over the vocal there. And where it sits here, I think it's perfect how it's mixed. I think if it was louder, it would maybe make the track sound more like a growly, screamy type band. And I don't think that's what you're going for on this track.
Right.
Yeah. How you layered that underneath there. And let's talk about that. Was that Craig doing that as well? You said he sang all the
Yeah. So everything in that verse should be him. I think that there's some harmonies and stuff from Anna in there. If there are harmonies, I'm not really remembering. But if there were probably Anna's because she recorded that whole verse. And if there was a cool harmony, we probably left it. And he went in and did like a bunch of lead takes. I think he did some droning harmonies underneath there and then some scream takes. And, everyone has their own way of adding flair to stuff. And obviously his bread and butter is that screaming and stuff. So we kind of wanted to sprinkle it in as much as possible, but we also wanted to save the scream, which is like the big part of the song, for when it matters in the bridge.
You did think about this, and I asked you that, and I say it that way. A lot of times there's just, and it's not because band members or songwriters are clueless. They'll just like, I don't really know, this part was this way and it got mixed this way. I didn't really hear it that way, but it sounds like this was your exact vision. Something else that's cool. It's still part of verse 2, or if you want to call it that, pre-chorus, but you say "we" this time before we get into the chorus.
Oh yeah. Yeah. True.
What did you say?
The first one's "keep on making it worse." The second one's "we keep on making it worse." Yeah.
And one word. And a lot of times this will happen where you just sang it that way and the mixer left it in there, or the producer thought it was cool that one time. You don't think about it. And I've even went back and said, I don't want the "we" in there. And the producer goes, what are you talking about? It's so cool the second time. Was that even a thought, or is that just the way it happened?
Now that you're saying it, I kind of do remember this happening, where it was, so we were really like intense because of how fast that kicks in and the driviness of the verse. We were like, we really want to like make this chorus like hit on the one. And it's a problem.
"we" was always supposed to be there.
It was always there. It's in the, like in her probably original lyrics, the "we" was there.
Right.
But the thing is like, we were like, cut the "we." We were like on the first one, because you're like, you want that. We have this problem of like all of our choruses naturally, wherever our head goes, never fall on the one. It's always the two. And so it's like, we were trying to create this like really energetic, like everybody jump energy, right? And it was like, we have to hit this chorus on the one, like, Misery Business, like that kind of vibe where it's just chorus hits right on the one.
Sure.
Like, cut the "we," no pickup. There's a drum fill with like some like guitars doing harmonics, like chugging. And then it was just keep on making it worse. And then when we got to the second one and we elongate that pre-chorus, felt like the perfect time to like have the "we." And then I think the "we" is in all of the rest of the choruses in the song.
Yeah, well, and we get it, of course, in the bridge. We get a lot of that lyric, "we keep on making it worse," that we're going to get to in a moment. But chorus 2, same overall instrumentation, lyrics, and vocal placement as chorus 1, but I swear the harmonies are wider here. I don't know if I've ever really used that term on the show. I always say louder. They don't necessarily sound louder. They sound wider in scope in the mix. They just sound a little bit more present, bigger than the first chorus. And the tambourine is definitely louder here. That little subtlety, having the tambo a little louder in chorus 2, I love it. I think it's great. And then we get into an 8-bar musical bridge with spoken like vocals.
We keep on making it worse. We knew this would hurt. Wonder what it's all worth. I've been stuck in reverse. Your feet in the dirt. Masochistic lovers. Tell me what's it all worth. Tell me what's it all worth. Tell me what's it all worth. Keep on making it worse.
But tell me what it's all worth. And then it says something kind of buried. Can you tell me without? I don't know what it says.
Yeah, I think it's, can you tell me what it's all worth?
Well, then we get a tell me what it's all worth. We do get that as like a call and response after that. There's something in between, but tell me what it's all worth. There's something, and then tell me what it's all worth.
Yeah.
And then it goes, tell me what it's all worth. And then we get the worth really held out.
Just sort of ad-libbing. That wasn't in the song. So he just took one of the lines from the chorus and just ran with it.
Oh, really? Okay. Did that happen when you guys were just sitting in the control room listening and kind of going, what is going on here? Or were you surprised by it?
No, so like actually we sent the song to Kevin. Kevin lives in Phoenix. We live in Florida. We recorded the song originally in LA.
Craig
lives in Phoenix. Kevin lives in LA. We live here. So the song was kind of done with Anna's version, right? And then we sent it to Craig. And when he agreed to do it, Kevin, I think he recorded the vocals himself. I think Craig went into a studio without Kevin there and recorded the vocals himself, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what happened. I don't think Kevin recorded the vocals for him, but I could be wrong. And then we didn't hear like a version until there was like, a version that kind of Kevin had already worked on. So he had grabbed all the stuff that he thought was cool. And I think a lot of the I think a lot of those like ad-libby things were just him having fun with it when he was recording the vocals.
It's funny you say ad-libby because that's what this part kind of sounds like. Not in a throwaway way, but that I couldn't really discern what he was saying there. And it's like, it kind of feels like it was off the cuff.
Yeah. And some of the best stuff kind of comes that way. We always let, like, whenever someone's doing vocals on a song, we always let Anna, me, whoever's doing a feature, just run a whole take all the way through and do like weird shit that doesn't necessarily need to make sense.
Yeah.
Kind of clip it into everything and make it, it's glue for the song.
Yeah, scream at the top of your range, get creative, do some crazy vocal run. You may not be your go-to vocal thing. Well, the first 4 bars are just guitar and synth here in this musical bridge here, this musical interlude. The synth gets progressively louder during this section. On bar 5, halfway through, the hi-hat joins in and everything comes to a crescendo, a big crescendo with that synth. And then the band is back in, super heavy. The drums are really loud with the crash cymbal, with bass guitars, stereo guitars, and a menacing octave guitar for the next 2 lyrical stanzas.
Keep on making it worse. We knew this would hurt. We knew this would hurt. We'll keep on making it worse. We knew this would hurt. We knew this would hurt.
Keep on making it worse. We knew this would hurt. We knew this would hurt. We keep on making it worse. We knew this would hurt. We knew this would hurt.
Yeah. And it's kind of, those are the lyrics taken from the chorus, and it's kind of just reiterating the point of the song, which is just like this kind of endless cycle of like, we're doing this to each other. We're doing this to ourselves. You're not going to stop. You like it enough to keep doing it, but it's also like killing you. It's, kind of just a modern day struggle of, and that's kind of why we used, when we went in and did the music video, it's kind of why Fight Club was a main reference.
Yeah.
When we were creating that, because it kind of captures that that very business core aesthetic, kind of captures this feeling really well.
I've always loved songs too, and I'll use the word easy. It's kind of easy, like where the chorus lyric just works in the bridge.
Right.
Was there any discussion of, we need some new content here? It can't be the same lyric, or is this just the way it was?
I feel like we probably tried to write something else there, but I feel like we probably just came back to it because it works really well.
Yeah, I don't remember having a
different bridge.
Yeah.
Well, on the second, we keep on making it worse. We knew this would hurt. We knew this would hurt. The growly, I'm calling it that monster vocal, is tucked under the lead vocal on these 3 lines. And then for the last stanza, keep on making it worse. That is Craig. We knew this would hurt. It's just Anna, but what's it all worth? Just Anna. It's just vocals and a lone guitar for this last stanza, panned off right, strumming chords. And on the last line, but what it's all worth, we get a big drum fill that launches us into chorus 3.
Keep on making it worse.
We knew this would hurt, but what's it all worth? I've been stuck in reverse, a beat in the dark, masochistic lovers. Keep on making it worse. We knew this would hurt, but what's it all worth? I've been stuck in reverse, a beat in the dark, masochistic lovers.
Let's talk about this last stanza here. Keep on making it worse is Craig, and the last 2 lines are you. How'd you figure that out?
They were all originally me. So once we had Craig on the song, we thought it was like the perfect, we go back and forth all the time in our songs. So we thought it was a perfect dynamic to have his voice and mine bounce off each other.
Any thought of and I'm not suggesting this would make the song better, you guys singing in unison there or anything? Or was this kind of like he did his vocal take, you sang everything, and the mixer just kind of put his up in this one spot and that's how it landed?
I think we just really like vocals going back and forth, and we do that a lot. So it just seemed right for us.
And it also makes sense in the context. It's like the unimplied parts where it doesn't say we keep on making this work. It almost implies you keep on making it worse, right?
Right.
And it's kind of you know us. It's kind of the back and forth, almost like blamey, which is interesting.
Well, I thought the song was cool, and then you went into chorus 3, and I went, I love it. I'd love to write a song with you sometime, just for the fact that you took the back half of the chorus and started chorus 3 with it.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That is so cool. I know I've heard songs that have done that. I can't think of off the top of my head. I don't even know out of the 283 Less Than Jake songs or however many we have if I've ever done that. I think it's great. Chorus 3. It's like a chorus and a half here. You take the back half. I've been stuck in reverse. 10 feet in the dirt. Masochistic Lovers. Harmonies on everything. This chorus starts with the back half lyrics of chorus 1 and chorus 2. This is like a fake out. And there's also some ooh vocal pads running underneath. Is that Craig doing those in this section?
Yeah, I think it is. And I forgot to mention it earlier when you said like the second chorus got wider.
Yeah.
The real reason that it feels that way is because now his harmonies are in there with her harmonies.
Okay.
And so it's another layer of stuff. And we kind of just took the stuff that he sent and we kind of just sprinkled it where it felt like it made sense instead of throwing it all on everything. Because we're very big on just dynamics and like things changing over the course of the song.
That's great. Well, the second half, or actually this is now a full chorus after that, what I'm calling the fake out at the top of chorus 3, we get a full chorus, but the harmonies, they're the loudest here they've been in the song. And there's more that are stacked here. I really hear Craig during this part. And I really think the layers, there's way more layers than there is in chorus 1 and chorus 2. And we'll do that in songs. We'll throw in the kitchen sink at the end. But my gosh, these harmonies sound so good. I, again, would have had hard constraint not to put them in at least chorus 2. Yeah. Did you have that conversation?
Honestly, I don't know if we did because they were Craig's and we were kind of just like, when it's not you singing it, right? You're able to be a lot more. We knew it couldn't be in chorus 1 because Craig hadn't sang yet. And then we were like, we might as well hold some stuff out of chorus 2 and build to this huge chorus 3. When it's not your vocal and it's not your harmony and it's not like your part that you're restraining, it's a lot easier to be like strategic about where it should go. Because if it was like her singing it or me singing it, we'd be like, I want it on every chorus. It sounds so good. But I think it actually served the song better because you don't listen to chorus 1 or chorus 2 and feel like they're missing anything. You just
no.
Each one, it's better than the last.
And that's the thing. And I've had producers say that to me, or my bass player will say to me all the time. It's like, well, you don't know what you're missing yet in chorus 1 and chorus 2. Like, you got to get to the third chorus. I'm like, yeah, but once you hear the third chorus, don't you want it back there? He's like, you're making a circular argument. Shut up, And I'll make myself crazy sometimes with stuff like that. But I think it's so cool how you guys started with the second half in chorus 3. It's very neat. On the last full chorus here for Wonder What It's All Worth, we get a call and response vocal, What It's All Worth. It's just Anna that time. There's no crazy distorted, monster vocals. It sounds like just this honest, what's it all worth that you're kind of pleading there. Was that the idea for that vocal? That's how it hits me.
Yeah, and live I do that as well. It's really hard to do that over my own vocals live. So
yeah. I've heard singing the chorus in that part.
Yeah.
I just thought that was cool because, that vocal could have been like the other ones, like the Bite Your Tongue or Don't Jump the Gun. It could have been in that vein. And this just kind of, it's just you. There wasn't much on that particular call and response vocal. I thought that was neat. Then on I've Been Stuck in Reverse, the band goes to halftime and we get these ooh vocals, these oohs that run underneath the next two lines, which are 10 feet in the dirt. And on Masochistic Lovers, the whole band, dun, 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 in unison. And we get the last breathy S. That's the last thing you hear in the story is S. And that's a hook. That thing. And a lot of times I remember when I first got Pro Tools years ago, I was cutting out all those breaths and all those noises and the rattle of my keys or whatever was in my pocket or change or something. And that's what gives it personality and makes it feel real and not robotic. I love how the song ends. I think the track's great. 2 minutes and 5 seconds. You pack a lot into this song. It's good songwriting because this song feels longer than 2 minutes. And I've often said I've heard songs that are 4 or 5 minutes long that feel like they're 2 minutes because the songwriting's great and it doesn't feel like a laborious listen. So congratulations on the track. I can't wait to hear with the stuff that you guys do with John Feldmann. The new album, New Addiction, is out now. I know you're working on new stuff, but what's coming up in the world of The Haunt?
Yeah, so we're on tour right now. We're going to be hitting the entire, southern part of the country, Texas, Arizona, California, all the way up the West Coast in December. finishing up in Portland and Seattle at the end of the year too. So we're really excited. Tour's going great. So can't wait to see you guys out there.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And congratulations on all your success. And tell your parents I said hello.
I will.
We made this bed, now we light it. Don't think I'm buying your bullshit. You're sick inside and I'm sorry. Why I let you sink your claws in me.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Make sure you check out the new album from The Haunt. It's called New Addiction. I'm a new fan. These songs are awesome. Maybe some of you became new fans as well. I hope so. Anyway, don't go anywhere. We got lots more Chris DeMakes a Podcast coming right up after a few words from our sponsors.
Wayfair's big sale is returning. Get ready for Way Day. For 4 days only, score up to 80% off all things home with free shipping on everything. From October 26th through 29th, score Wayfair's best deals, like up to 80% off area rugs, up to 60% off mattresses, up to 60% off bedroom furniture, and more exclusive doorbuster deals. So mark your calendar and shop Way Day starting October 26th at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Experience a membership that backs your business journey with American Express Business Platinum. Earn 5 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. Plus, enjoy a welcome offer of 200,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo. There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned.
What are you gonna do? I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault, a new series streaming now only on Peacock.
If we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With the all-new Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, every morning it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from good to excellent. Introducing the new Sleep Score on Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
Eczema is unpredictable, but you can flare less with Ebglyss, a once-monthly treatment for moderate to severe eczema. After an initial 4-month or longer dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lily.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
Disney's Lilo & Stitch has finally landed on Disney+. Now you can watch the global phenomenon at home with your Ohana.
Be good for 1 second.
Lilo & Stitch is verified hot on Rotten Tomatoes with an audience score of 93%.
Perfect.
Stitch is also cute and fluffy.
Disney's Lilo & Stitch, rated PG, now streaming on Disney+. And right now, you can get Disney+, Hulu, and all of ESPN with an incredible limited-time offer. Terms apply.
Hey friends, have you been loving Chris DeMakes a Podcast? Well, spread the love by leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Don't hesitate to share what you enjoy about the show in an actual written review on Apple Podcasts. Not only does it help more people discover us, but we often read reviews in the wrap segment of the show. It's a quick, cost-free way to support us and takes just a minute of your time. Your reviews mean the world to us and help us keep the podcast thriving. Thank you for being a listener, and thank you for being a friend.
segment of the show. Here's a band you might not know.
Welcome to this week's Band You Might Not Know. If you'd like your band to be considered for Chris DeMakes a Podcast, email your best song via MP3 only and a short bio to bandyoumightnotknow@gmail.com. This week's featured artist is The New Limits, a 7-member explosive ska band from Boston, Massachusetts, blending soul, rocksteady, and rock into a high-energy, dance-inducing sound that's currently setting the New England area ablaze. They have a new record out on Jump Up Records called These Are the Nights. And here's a snippet of that title track.
These are the nights, these are the nights you might regret. These are the nights you won't forget. These are the nights, these are the nights, these are the nights. These are the nights you won't forget.
The Wrap with Chris and Chris.
Chris, I feel like for a young band, the Haunt are pretty wise beyond their years in certain ways. You talked about the fact that we live, especially with younger artists, in a really singles-driven world where people might have lost faith in the album a little bit. But I love that they were all about making an album to kind of like put their stamp on the music world. And also I loved that right away Max said they wanted to approach it that every song gets its fair share of attention, and they were very against filler. You know, filler was very much a thing that you and I know all about from music we listened to, or maybe here and there had even created along the way.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, not every album can be all hits. You know, Thriller comes to mind, you know, Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses. There's albums that are, you know, revered as perfect albums. Sometimes the B-side serves as, oh, that song wasn't that great, so when the next song comes on, it sounds that much better. Yeah, I don't know what the exact right thing is to do there, Chris, but I will tell you, it's impressive when you go back and look at the Haunt the last 5 years, how they have just continuously had something coming out. It looks like you are beyond an active band. You're working every month, every 2 months, there's a new single coming out. And I know that's not reinventing the wheel. A lot of bands are doing that, but I back it. It's exciting.
That's kind of the argument for the singles driven world is if you have a 12-song album and you just space them out and release them one every 6 weeks, you are constantly active. It is kind of that's kind of an argument for that. And Chris, I would also argue that the deeper cuts on an album, sometimes they're not filler. Sometimes they're just songs where you're doing some things that aren't the standard song that the standard pop song arrangement that you're not going for a radio hit single.
Well, and as we know, sometimes those songs end up becoming the sleeper hit.
Yeah, that's right. So I loved their attitude, and you know, I didn't know coming into this how much of a producer Max was too. You know, like how involved he was in it, and I was also impressed that he's the older of the siblings, but it was Anastasia's proclivity for singing that started the whole thing, and then he's like, well, I want to be part of this because she's talented. It seems like the older sibling was influenced by the younger one in this circumstance, which is cool.
Yeah, I kind of had asked them that. You know, I don't think that you know, there's some siblings that just can't be in a band together. There's just no way they could be in a band. I've seen it. I've seen dysfunctional, but you know, it sounds like their parents are very supportive. They had young parents, like they said, and, you know, they're in a great place, Fort Lauderdale. That music scene down there to start a band. They've done tours with Palais Royale, as they said, The Who, The Struts, Filter, and a bunch more. And it kind of looks like the sky is wide open with them. And I'll go back to, and I'm standing by what I said. I hear a rock band here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't hear, you know, the synths and everything else. It's kind of background. And there's some bands that it's the opposite. The rock is pushed back, and the pop and the dance rhythms and whatever else are pushed forward. But they got a great sound. I think we're going to definitely be hearing from them, especially with going in the studio with John Feldman soon.
Yeah, that's really cool. You know, that's going to sound great. Also, John brought it up in his episode, And then you brought it up to them about the fact this song is like a little over 2 minutes. That is something I have noticed so much. You know, I'm a big fan of pop music. So I get these playlists from Apple Music served to me each week. And I usually check them out to like try to find some new artists and stuff. And all these pop songs, it doesn't matter if it's an indie pop artist or a huge pop artist. The 2-minute songs are just, you know, they're everywhere. And maybe it's because of our short attention span as a culture. But also, I thought it was cool that they said they're leaving the audience wanting more with the short songs, which is true. And also, one more thing I never heard anyone say, Chris, where I'm like, that's a really great point, is he said they're doing these support tours and they might have a 25-minute set or a 30-minute set. If your songs are 2 minutes, you can maybe do a 10, 11, 12 song set. You can really pack it in there and kind of prove yourself to an audience and show a lot of your different sides of who you are. Then, you know, if you're doing 4-minute songs, you have a 25-minute set, you can do 5 or 6 songs and that's it.
That's why the Grateful Dead was never an opening band. Their songs were like 30 minutes. They'd have to cut songs to play a 30-minute set. And speaking of short attention spans, we're going to stop talking to you about The Haunt for a second because we know you want to hear about ChrisDeMakes.com. That's where our Patreon is at, ChrisDeMakes.com. You can get bonus episodes of the After Party and all kinds of other goodies. Head over to ChrisDeMakes.com for that. And as usual, we've been doing this for a minute now. We want to hear from you. And we read your 5-star Apple reviews and your Spotify reviews live on air. We'll even say your funny handle if you have one. Chris, who do you got for us this week?
It's funny, Chris, before I get into that, 5-star reviews is what we ask for. And we ask for them so often that I'm on this app Letterboxd, which is movie reviews. And you can add your friends and see what they reviewed movies or whatever. And for like a year now, no matter what, I always, after I watch a movie, I always leave a review and my thoughts, and I want to see what my friends said. I always give it 5 stars. No matter, it could be the worst movie in the world, I give it 5 stars. And then when my written review, I write like, this movie was terrible, but I could tell they tried hard making this movie. So I'm going to leave it 5 stars. That's how much I believe in the 5-star review, Chris.
I like it.
But this week's, we got a 5-star. This is from JV3155, who gave us the 5-star review and said, great music podcast. I don't know where JV3155 is from, but I will say, Chris, they're probably from the UK somewhere because in their review, they spelled the word favorite with OU.
That's a good clue.
A good giveaway. But JV3155 said, I immediately subscribed to this podcast as a Less Than Jake fan, and it's now my favorite podcast. I tune in every Monday, regardless of whether I know the song or band, as it's always an interesting conversation about music. I also love the rap segment at the end where Chris and Chris chat about the episode. Highly recommend this podcast to any music lover. Well, man, you gotta love that review. They're talking about the rap.
Yeah, thanks, JV3155. I don't think anybody... you might be the only one that listens to the rap. Thank you very much. We wonder if we keep people this long, Chris.
I think we do. I think everyone's looking forward to the rap. I think people are fast-forwarding to the rap.
I want to do an episode and release it on a Monday, an actual episode, but it's all our raps from the last 5 years in a row.
Including all our plugs to get people to subscribe to our Patreon?
That's right, ChrisDeMakes.com. We already told you that. Hey, thanks for listening, each and every one of you. We appreciate it. We're still having fun with this. We hope you are too. Want to thank this week's guest, Anastasia Haunt and Max Haunt from The Haunt. We'll see you next week.
Hey, I'm Chris Fafalius, producer of Chris DeMakes a Podcast, and also host of One Hit Thunder. Each week on the One Hit Thunder podcast, we take a look into a one-hit wonder band or artist to determine if they deserved more success or if they were lucky to even have a hit at all. We've covered When in Rome, Jaquan, Shanice, Yellow, Squirrel Nut Zippers, Jesus Jones, Positive K, Mazzy Star, and hundreds more. With new episodes every Wednesday and special guests from the worlds of music and comedy, we always have nonstop fun, and maybe, if we're lucky, we discover some new favorite music. So if you love great songs and you often find yourself asking, whatever happened to that band? Check out One Hit Thunder wherever you get your podcasts.
Doug.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Kay Jewelers Black Friday sale is on. Now's the time to get up to 50% off Black Friday deals. With savings this big, you can get gifts for everyone on your list. Plus, if Black Friday lines aren't your thing, skip them. At Kay, you can buy online and pick up in store or get free shipping right to your home. This holiday season, unwrap love and savings with Kay. Exclusions apply. See Kay.com/exclusions for details.